My name is Florence Joseph Beloit. I've lived in Jacksonville since I was born. I was born September the 15th, 1924, about 98 years. My daddy came from Shechem and Hamad, Lebanon. My mother and her mother were traveling on boat from Lebanon to around the Caribbean, and Mom and Daddy both met in Jacksonville. They didn't know each other before then, and they got married in 1912. My aunt and my uncle came over to the United States in 1912. They were very young. They were, I guess, 10 and 12 years old, and they had left. My grandmother had been with my mother around the Caribbean, so they came over with my grandfather. But when they got into Marseille, France, they had to take a physical before they would allow them on the boat that they were coming to Jacksonville on, and they were to get on the Titanic. So they did that, but my grandfather failed the test because he couldn't hear well. And they let him made him stay there, but he sent the two children, and on the Titanic, as the history books show, it sank. And because they were foreigners, they were in the bottom of the boat, and that gate was locked once the Titanic was beginning to sink. And my Uncle Louis jumped over the gates because he heard people on board upstairs, a lot of people walking around, and he jumped over the gates, went up there and saw they were putting them on other boats to take them away from the sinking. And he went back and got his sister, but a man from the United States was on board one of the ships, and he was a very influential man, they say, John Jacob Astor. So he put him on the lifeboats in his place. I was born here in Jacksonville at 1105 North Hogan Street, close, very close to where the City Hall is now. We lived over this store, and I was born in that area. When I got out of high school, Lee, I started working for the base and at the Naval Air Station in bookkeeping department is where I worked. And then I started working at Southern Bell accounting office. It was in the Lynch building downtown. I went to a lot of USO dances. They'd have them, I think, every Friday night. My sisters and I went to them. They were downtown. And so it was the boys were there from the war, USO, and they were there to dance too. Army was at Camp Bland and the Navy was at the Naval Base. So we had both of the services here. We had a few attacks, at the beach especially. We had a couple of attacks by the Germans out in the ocean, so it was, at the beach. I loved the ocean, I loved it, loved being on the beach. There was roller coasters, I had a lot of rides. I got married at the Women's Club on Riverside Avenue, 1949. My husband's name was Nelson Beloit. He owned a grocery store on St. John's Avenue. Jacksonville has been a wonderful place to live.